Caitlin Clark, Jacy Sheldon get Chippy during Fever Sun game. Caitlin Clark appeared to say savage NFSW line to Sun player before shoving her. The two former Big Ten rivals jawed at each other during the second quarter of Tuesday's Fever Sun game. Tuesday night's Connecticut Sun-Indiana Fever game got all sorts of chippy as there were a few scuffles and a bunch of ejections in a game that Indiana won 88-71 to clinch a trip to the Commissioner's Cup championship game. Caitlin Clark was involved in a few of those heated moments as she and Jacy Sheldon, whose rivalry goes back to their college days in the Big Ten, shared some words before Clark gave her a little shove. This happened in the fourth quarter, and it sure seemed like Clark told Sheldon that she can do whatever the F she wants to do before pushing her away. Here's that moment. Clark, who was called for a technical foul earlier in the game after one of the scuffles, had 20 points in the win for the Fever. Things got chippy during the second quarter of Tuesday's game between the Indiana Fever and Connecticut Sun as two former Big Ten rivals came face-to-face once again. Fever superstar Caitlin Clark and Sun guard Jacy Sheldon exchanged words in a moment between two competitors with 9:13 remaining in the second quarter of Tuesday's Commissioner's Cup showdown. Sheldon had something to say to Clark, who had no interest in hearing it. The Fever star gave the Sun guard a little push away from her, and the situation was immediately de-escalated. It's not entirely clear what sparked this back and forth between Clark and Sheldon. But for those wondering, this isn't the first time that the two players have crossed paths. Clark, they're the Iowa Hawkeyes, took exception to what appeared to be a physical basketball play from Sheldon, who played for the rival Ohio State Buckeyes during a March 2024 game. And the competitive fire between the two players appears to have carried over to the WNBA. Naturally, Clark drilled a deep three-pointer over two Sun defenders shortly after the chippy moment with Sheldon. Clark scored 12 first-half points and helped the Fever take a 47-39 lead into the locker room at halftime. No player was ejected after the third-quarter fracas, which carved the path for a hard flagrant foul from Fever guard Sophie Cunningham on Sheldon and another scuffle toward the end of the game. Cunningham, Sheldon, and Sun guard Lindsey Allen were ejected after the scrum with less than a minute to play. Fans and the broadcast crew ripped the officials for allowing the game to continue to escalate, and specifically for their decision to leave Mabry in the game after the first confrontation between teams. Fever head coach Stephanie White felt the same way in her post-game press conference. It was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, White said to reporters after the Fever's 88-71 win over the Sun. When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long, it's not just this game, this is what happens, right? You got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, and when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete. And they're going to have their teammates' backs. White added that she began talking with the officials during the first quarter because the game already felt like it was bound for a boiling point. You could tell this was going to happen, she continued. So the officials got to get control of it. They got to be better.